Hi everyone, well it's Monday, and in order to help make Monday more manageable, we're going to do a review of a new bottle. This one is Penelope Architect Wegmans Private Build number 23-1183. This is 110 proof, and this is their intense stave. I'm not sure if that little slogan, making Mondays manageable, making Mondays more manageable, will stick, but we'll see where it goes. Anyway, Penelope. So this is my first time having the Architect. I've had other expressions from Penelope. I've had a few. I think it was the barrel strength, and I had one other. I tried the toasted. They were okay to me. You know, they were good. I was not like enamored with it, as some others are, as mixed opinions. I was okay with them. And I haven't purchased a Penelope bottle in some time. I've been seeing this, the Architect, in stores, averaging about $64 in New Jersey, depending where you go. And I know, and I've spoken to others about this, and I'm a lover of Maker's Mark, Maker's 46, and the finishing staves in their private barrels and all that stuff. And how they use in the Maker's 46 French oak staves to finish the bourbon. So I love that. I love how that tastes. I've also tried Blue Note Crossroads. Those orange staves, I believe those are finished in French oak barrels. But I like the flavor that French oak staves or barrels impart on the whiskey. So knowing that they do this with this, that piqued my interest. What piqued it even more was that I haven't had one, but the regular ones give you a whole map on the back and the whole process of that. This one kind of piqued my interest because it's not only Architect, but it's Wegmans. You call it a single barrel or a private build. I know they use the term build in these Architects, but this is a part of the Penelope Architect private build program, same as any other single barrel store picks where they pick their own build. And it's kind of cool because, and I'll show you when I open this up, it says selected by Wegmans, and on the back they will check off the four versions of staves. It was kind of, they had two of them. They had the complex stave, and then they had the intense stave. I kind of went with the intense stave, and I kind of thought I would want to get the most intense flavor out of that. I guess the other two that weren't there were maybe a little bit more delicate. I figured let's just go for the full gusto here and get it whole here. So anyway, so this is my first time trying Penelope Architect, and what's more is now it's actually a store pick, so it kind of makes it interesting. I'm not sure what the proofs on those are. This is 110 proof. That's a straight bourbon whiskey, again, finished in French oak staves. And the distillery this is MGP source, and kind of what they want to do, Penelope as a brand, with this, and even with some of the toasted barrels and stuff, is, they're using MGP distillate, so they kind of want to put their own stamp on it. They do that with the toasted. This is another way to put their stamp on it with these different French oak staves of different and varying intensities. Penelope Architect, I believe, was released around April 2022. It's not age stated. And there's no disclosed mash bill, but doing a little research, I know some of the others have this. This may, and I say man, I'll be able to tell better when I drink it, may have 4 grains. It may have all 4 grains of corn, wheat, rye, and malted barley, but I am not certain of that. And I also know they use 3 different mash bills, but again, this isn't like disclosed on here. So, and this again is a private, call it a single barrel, call it a private build, whatever you want. But what I do want to do right now is I want to get this open. I want to see if this is something maybe different to me than the other Penelopes, which were okay. Maybe this is more than okay to me. Let's get in the glass. And before we pop this open, you can see right here, it has the little label on it, selected by Wegmans. And you can see on the back, you can see the writing they have there if you want to pause it. But you can see the selection breakdown right here. Delicate stave, delicate EXP stave, complex stave, and you can see the intense stave is marked and private build number 23-1183. Okay, so we got this poured up. That was a decent cork pop. On the nose, I immediately am having a familiar smell to the Blue Note Crossroads in respects of this more intense type of flavor. It's not intense with ethanol, but it's intense with I don't know if I call it a cinnamon, cherry, caramel, something popping out of there, and something vaguely familiar with makers, but let's get to the taste. Cheers. Oh, this is unique. It is unique. It's something that resembles the French oak in makers, but it's definitely Penelope. It's a mixture of the fact that there is a certain profile I've had in other Penelopes. This one's amped up both with these French oak staves and influence, and also the fact that the staves they're using is intense, and I would call the flavor intense for sure. Also, by the way, just to back up a drop, this is relatively dark coloring. I am not guessing these are aged. I have no idea what the age statement, but I was not under the impression these were aged more than 7 years, probably less. The color is quite intense. I would take that from the finishing. That was just my own opinion. It has beautiful color on this thing. Let's just get another taste. This is a deep, rich, definite flavor imparted from the French oak. You got your caramel, vanilla. I'm going to really try to stud this a bunch of other flavors, but the key thing is there is the second half of this that French oak staves and flavoring takes up, and it definitely has an intense flavor. I think it drinks, I'll tell you, let me just try another one. It's the second half of the mouth. Second half of the palate on down the finish, you get that, that's where that French oak kicks in for me. I'd say it drinks as proof. This is the same truth. This is now, I would have thought of a comparison that we're going to do. I don't currently have a Maker's Mark cash strength. I've had many, but not at the moment. I am going to get at some point, coming days, weeks, I'm going to get a Maker's Mark cash strength, which is at or around 110 proof. And I'm going to, actually, that may not be a good comparison that I'm thinking about it. Proof-wise, it's a good comparison, but it's not a good comparison in terms of the French oak finishing, because that would be it would be either Maker's Mark 46 cast strength or one of the other. So I have a Maker's Mark 46. It's 94 proof. It's a little less proof, but we can probably use that and just see with the oak, even though the proof's different, we can see the influence of the French oak staves. The Maker's Mark cast strength is the same proof, but that doesn't have the finishing of the French oak. So we'll do that. We'll do a Maker's 46, and we'll try to ignore the proof difference. But I will tell you this is, up to this point, I think my quick taste, this is probably my favorite of the Penelope so far. Not only that, this is the fact that this is a store pick from Wegmans, which I find very reliable. I've always enjoyed most of their store picks. This is the one in Penelope, New Jersey, that we have Wegmans all over the Northeast. I find this is, I will go through this, drink this. Maybe my opinion changes as we go along. It's happened before. I always kind of do reviews sort of in the middle, and definitely usually as we're finishing something, a bottle, see how my opinion changed. But I will tell you right now, so far, I think this is my favorite of the Penelopes. I'd be curious to see an architect that is a non-store pick. That would be the next thing. But for now, this private build from Wegmans, intense stave, it's a winner. It definitely is. I'm really enjoying this. Cheers. Take care. Thanks for watching.